Do you believe in ghosts? Do
No.
you believe in spirits? Do you believe that a spiritual being can claim someone as their husband and wife
You serious?
and then come to sleep with them every time as their own? Now, this is the story of Thelma and her spiritual husband. Now, Thelma has had this issue of a spiritual husband since she was a kid. This spirit will always come to her at night and have his way with her. And initially, she didn't like it, she fought against it, but after some time, she gave in and looked forward to the spirit coming to visit her every night. Now, how this spirit gained access to her is very quite unclear. Some say that it was when the parents were looking for a child and they asked the spirit being to help them, and the spirit said in exchange is going to be her husband. Some said it was through her own act that she had gone to different places for different reasons, and from there the spirit gained access to her and claimed her as his own. No one really knows for sure. But what we know is that this spirit is serious, like so serious that whoever comes to date or marry her will get into serious problems. Their life will just take a downward slope and different things will be happening to them. Now, there are different people. We begin to talk about the different people that have tried to date her or have dated her or trying to marry her and have seen so many problems. It will be so long, but we're going to focus on one person. Now, this guy, his name is Thomas. Now, Thomas started dating Thelma. He saw her, he fell totally in love with her. And if you see her, she's so beautiful. So he fell in love with her and then they started dating. About 6 months to 1 year into their dating, his life just turned around in a very bad way. Like, Thomas was well to do, had a job, had a side business. All of a sudden, he was sacked from his job for almost nothing. His business crashed to the ground, like totally. Everything was just wrong with him, and he didn't understand why this was happening to him. He sold his car, he sold his land, he was literally feeding from hand to mouth. And during this period, here where him and Thelma were dating, Thelma looks very calm, very innocent, but once she's angry, it's like a different spirit takes over her and she fights like a tiger. Like every time that they fight, she always uses knife to stab this guy. If you check Thomas' body, all over his body, scars of knives, and when he looks at his body, it's like these are scars of love. Now, this continued for so long, and Thomas was fed up with everything, but he loved her deeply. Now, one day when she was sleeping, so he her phone beeped and he took the phone and saw the messages in her phone. Like, he kept on reading the messages, and it was like a revelation to him. In some of these messages, the guys were like saying that they miss her. A lot of guys that they miss her, they want her back into their life. While some were saying that since they left her, that their life has become better now, that she's a witch. And also asking her out of her spiritual husband, is he still visiting her at night? And he started thinking about this, and this is the same thing that's happening to him. His life has took a downward slope. Every night he notices that when she sleeps, she makes some noise as if someone is sleeping with her, and changes sexual position as if she's having sex. And he notices that whenever he wants to, when she's doing this and he wants to be with her, he feels like a presence pressing him down. He feels so weak to react and he just stays there. And he thought he's normal, he thought maybe he's just tired, but now his eyes begin to open and he's beginning to understand what is happening. Now he confronted Thelma and asked her, what's happening? Tell me the truth. And she denied everything. He kept on pressuring until she finally confessed and said, yes, this is true. She's had these issues for a long time. She has tried to free herself of it to no avail. She has gone to native doctor. Native doctor tried to, help her, but nothing. Even she had gone to pastors. Pastors prayed for her, still nothing. In fact, they may pray for her and help her. After some time, the spirit will leave her. After some time, the spirit will come back to her and come back very, very dominant. Now she has tried everything to no avail. So now she accepts her fate. So now Thomas says, okay, he's going to help her. He's going to fight this spirit. He's going to fight for his love. So what he does was every night, whenever it gets to around 12, 1, because that's when the spirit usually comes at night, he will turn on music, gospel music, and increase the volume. And this spirit will, this spirit will try to come, but it cannot come. He doesn't like that kind of sound, doesn't like that kind of music or loud music. So it did not come. 1 day, 2 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, it did not come. And they finally had peace. So one day Thomas fell asleep and didn't turn on the music, and this spirit came. This spirit did not just come for her, but it came for him, came for Thomas. and Thomas was feeling like something was pressing his neck, was suffocating him. He tried to struggle, he was trying to come out, he's tried all his best, but he could. This spirit was very powerful, and then he just gave up and like, well, this is his end. And after some time, the spirit left him, and he was like, he woke up and it was at the point of death. So he woke up, he ran out of the house, started breathing. Thelma herself was sleeping, she didn't know what was happening. So the next morning, this was his breaking point. He told her he's done, he doesn't want anything to do with her again. And previously he would break up with her and make up, and she told him to his face, you cannot break up with me. Even if you break up with me, that you will always want me back. You cannot do without me. And then he said, we will see about that. And she left. And then, good thing for Thomas, after some months that she left him, his life began to take shape. They called him back from his previous job. His business began to get better. But there was an issue. He was missing Thelma. Like, he was missing her so much. What she said was the truth. Whenever he looks at his body, sees the scars of love, like he calls it, he misses her the most. He wants her back in his life, and he's determined to go back to her. And he's saying, okay, he needs to fight for his love. He's saying he doesn't want to be a coward and run away from his spirit, that he needs to fight the spirit man to man. But then he doesn't know what to do. The previous near-death experience he had was tormenting him, and he doesn't know what to do. So now he's thinking, what should he do? Should he look for a very strong native doctor, or for a very strong pastor, or does he look for a way to confront the spirit physically? He doesn't know what to do. And what someone is asking is, how does he fight this spirit being? Should he be a coward and let her go, or should he fight for his love? What should he do?